Tori Amos, the new album Under the Pink, and Tori is sitting 5 feet from me. Hi, Tori.
Hi, Bob.
How are you?
I'm doing pretty good, I think. I mean, I don't think I should be, but I feel really, really good.
As we were chatting backstage at Lisner last night, you've got quite a tour ahead of you. 235 cities on this tour.
234 left. I ate the candy from last night. A friend of mine got me candies for each song, so I have to eat it after the show, and it's like 234 down. Left.
Last night at Lisner Auditorium, a great show that was sold out. You know, the show sold out in like 2 hours. Back in June.
Yeah, those were just previews. What I'm doing now, I did I'm doing 10 dates in North America, and these are only previews for the real tour that starts in June in the States, and we'll cover between June, July, and August. Then we'll be back in the fall and doing colleges. So we'll do about 140 dates in the States.
Which will take you well into 1975.
Yeah, I'm going to finish by Christmas.
Well, it's the third time you've joined us on the Modern Rock Morning Show, and the second time we've kind of beaten David Letterman to the punch. I know you're going to leave here this morning, catch a flight to New York, and you're doing Letterman tonight?
Yes.
And Good Morning America later in the week?
I think on Wednesday.
Yeah. So last night at Lisner, Tori, it was funny because I was talking to Catherine Lauren, who does the nights here at HFS on the way out, and said, so what'd you think? Because it was the first time Catherine had seen you. And she said, I kept wanting to stop the show and say to Tori, your mom and dad are sitting right there. But you're completely undaunted by that. I mean, provocative as always.
No, but when I play live, no one is allowed to come in and get me to censor myself. I think years ago I used to let people throw me, but there's a part of me now that says, the artist side of me refuses any censorship. No, I don't care who you are. It would make me ill inside. And I think any artist out there that's listening would know when you start changing yourself, you cut out parts of yourself. To what? To make them feel better? I think there's a side to my parents that love it. There's another side that we don't talk about certain things. And that's okay. But when you come to one of my shows, you don't have to like everything, and you don't have to be comfortable with it. That's not what it is. It's about an experience. And there's a side of me that isn't sitting here right now, that comes through when I perform, that doesn't really exist in my life, except when I'm on stage. But when that part of me kind of wakes up, it's like, no, you're not going to put me in the corner and tell me what to say and be politically correct. I'm not interested in politically correct.
Mm-hmm. You told a story last night on stage, right before Pretty Good Year, which is the new single from Under the Pink in England. You know what I'm talking about a letter that you got from a guy who pretty much said his life sucks because he doesn't, quote, know what you women want.
Yeah. Isn't that very honest. And I started to really understand where he was coming from, especially when so many guys would say the same thing around that age of 20, 21. It's that middle period of all these dreams that they had when they were 16 and having a difficult time implementing them. And the girls are taking over the corporation and ready to go, and it's a very tricky time, and it can be kind of suicidal. It can be that horrible depression scene. And I knew that the last thing this guy needed was pity. The last thing he needed from me, because that basically says you're not capable. And the biggest message that we're given is you're not capable. They give a gold star to the one girl in class, for her composition, her summer vacation. And you're going, my summer vacation was way more bitchin' than hers. So, why did she get to read her thing? Because, you know what I'm saying? Because Mrs. Niedermeyer liked her. Well, screw that lady. You're going, hang on a second, what does this teacher have anything to do with when I'm 25 and kicking around? Nothing, absolutely nothing. But they can change your life and make you feel completely in doubt about yourself. So I wrote this song to say, hey, buddy, you got to see it in you.
Now, when you were going to school in the Baltimore area, Tori, was there really a Mrs. Niedermeyer?
Yes, there was. I mean, yes, there was. And those that are out there know, and maybe she's even listening. You know what it was? Maybe if I ran into her today, it wouldn't be so horrible. But then it was pretty horrible, just because if you weren't liked by her, your life was hell.
Mm-hmm. I think we all had teachers like that.
Yeah.
Tori Amos is with us on HFS this morning, and Tori, you told me last night that you formed a new and sort of interesting friendship with some other pretty famous women musicians that we play a lot here at HFS. Now, did you meet Bjork and Polly Harvey at the Brit Awards, or have you known them before?
Well, I'd met Bjork in Iceland about 2 years ago when I was on tour for Little Earthquakes, and I played Iceland, and she came to the show, and we spoke for a very short while, and then I ran into her at the airport the next day, and we had a longer conversation, and it was just one of those recognition things that you have with certain people. And then I ran into them at the Brits, because I was presenting an award. I barely the record had just been out, and I'd been in New Mexico for a year and a half, so their trailer was across from where all the presenters were because they were performing, and I wasn't really getting along too well with everybody in the trailer that I was in, so I kind of banged on their trailer and said,
now, who was in your trailer?
I'm not talking.
Come on.
Can't talk. And so I was banging on the thing. Some of them you wouldn't know because they're more English. Mm-hmm. And I was knocking on the door, and Polly answers the door, and I said, can I come in? And she said, of course you can. I love your music. And I go, well, good, I love your music. And it was a wonderful time, and we struck up a really wonderful bond. And then Bjork came pounding in the trailer and giggling. She's so full of life. And Polly's going to teach me how to plant Brussels sprouts. She's a great gardener, Polly. She's this fantastic garden in Dorset. When I talk to her, she's always pruning her raspberry bushes or something. She's really fascinating.
Bjork and Polly Harvey did a version of the Stones' Satisfaction
yes.
at the Brit Awards. Now, do you think there's any chance the three of you might get together just to do something musically for fun?
I'd like to think so, you know. Polly's, she's just finished her demos. I'm thrilled because she's going to send me a copy of a tape. She goes, I want you to hear this. And I'm like,
yeah, will you share
Christmas
it with me?
is coming early.
Come on.
Yeah, Well, it's funny because at the demo stage, you know, if she asked me, don't play this for anybody, of course I would respect it. If it were out, you know, a pre-release or something, and it was a friend, because you're a buddy, of course. But, you know, when it's a work in progress, sometimes it's still a real vulnerable stage. And I totally respect where she's coming from because, you know, it's not on disc yet. Bjork is just about ready to start writing again. Mm-hmm. So we're all at different stages. I just started the road. They're both off the road and feeling really good. Mm-hmm. And they know I have a couple hundred shows left, and they're going, yeah, call us from Cincinnati.
Well, that keyboard that we got for you, we had a really hard time finding this thing.
Did you?
Tori. I know you requested that, but it's pretty rare.
Is it?
Yeah. What is it exactly? Anyway, it's a Roland.
It's a Roland RD1000. Well, the 3-something is all right too, but the thing is, Busendorfers would probably be easier to find,
but harder to get in the studio door. No. Well, anyway,
is this a hint? Should I do something?
I think it is.
Okay. What do you want me to do?
My choice?
Yeah, your choice.
My choice?
Yeah.
How about...
No, Arthur.
Did he say Space Dog?
Yeah, no, can't do that.
No, you can't do that. How about Baker? Tori Amos live at HFS. Okay, wait. We got to. All right, there we go.
Baker, baking a cake, make me a day, make me whole again. And I wonder what's in a day, what's in your cake this time. I guess he's gone to LA. He says then behind my eyes I'm hiding, and he tells me I pushed him away, and my heart's been hard to find. Here there must be something, yeah. There must be something here. Baker, baker, can you explain if truly his heart was made of icing? And I wonder how man could taste. Maybe we could change his mind. I know it ain't for your next parade. You came to make sure that I'm not running. Well, I ran from him in all kinds of ways. Guess it was his turn this time. Time thought I made friends with time. Thought we'd be flying. Maybe not this time. Baker, baker, baking a cake, make me a day, make me whole again. And I wonder if he's okay, if you see him, say hi.
Tori, you're so beautiful.
Thanks, guys.
99.1 HFS, Baker, which is included in Under the Pink. And, you know, an amazing response last night to Precious Things. Does that seem to be the
Funny that,
one
huh?
song that really
Yes.
they go wild for?
Yep. Yep. That's something. And Cornflake Girl in England.
Yeah,
Because
Cornflake
that
is...
was the big single
That's,
there.
I was
Coming up
telling you
next.
last night. Yeah? Will you do that one?
No, I
Oh.
can't do that.
Oh, okay. That is going to be the next single from the album. And you also shot a video for that last Wednesday?
I co-directed it because I'm so sick of these video directors. Can we talk about how, oh my God, like if the world ends, can we put them all in their own little boat? And then, you know, if we need to feed the sharks, we know which boat to like shoot with our little BB gun. I mean, I'm sorry, but can we talk about a more precious group of people on the planet? I'm sorry, my manager's walking in
Sorry,
the other
how do you
room.
really feel about that?
Yeah, but hey, come on. All those people out there, if you are wondering what career to get into, become a video director because I will hire you. I mean, it's unbelievable what you have to deal with. You go, okay, hang on a minute. This is the music. We should be, it's about songs, about music. No, it isn't. This whole business is about video directors. And they come in and they are like, it's like how music producers were maybe 10 years ago. That if you don't get the right director, you're like, I got sick of it. I said, forget it. I'm co-directing this. No more egomaniacs on the set. We just need a great DP. This fantastic dyke came and helped me out. She's like, unbelievable. I worship this woman.
Yeah.
And the art director who did Nirvana's Heart-Shaped Box art directed the set.
Mm-hmm.
And we got in some Banshee girls.
Any more rats?
No. We're just cooking a guy in this one.
Oh. We'll look forward to it. Hey, listen, we said we'd take some phone calls. You want to chat to some people? We got Rich on the phone. Rich?
Yes.
Hey, where are you calling from?
I'm calling from Baltimore.
Hi, Rich.
Hi, Tori.
Oh, you got a question for Tori?
Yeah, I wanted to say I saw the show last night, and it was wonderful.
Thank you.
And I was just wondering, with the busy touring schedule you have coming up, do you think it's going to be increasingly more difficult to get emotionally prepared for the concerts?
It's already hard to get emotionally prepared because you need time before a show. Usually I need about an hour so that I can just work myself up. I can't really just, have a muffin and a little chat with somebody and then walk on stage and give everybody the same journey that we could all go on if I'm already kind of a third way in. The best way to walk on stage is when I'm a third way in to the journey already. And I have to, so even though I'm a third way in, I know that I have to turn around and let everybody know which path I'm going down that night, because each night is different. But still, you get a sense of where we're going instead of me walking out cold. So it is tricky, but at the same time, it's an incredible discipline, and you just have to discipline yourself.
It was a great show last night at Lisner, and again, just to remind everybody, we'll be back in June.
Oh yeah, Baltimore, Washington, of course.
Okay.
We don't want the Baltimore people to feel left out. It was just, we only did like 8 places in America, 2 in Canada this time, and we're coming back.
12 dates on this little mini tour, right? Okay. Tori, stick around. We got to check in with Jerry, who's got some traffic for. Tori Amos is live with us in the studio. Johnny Riggs just walked in.
Johnny just walked in with this wiggle rider. See? Does it right? Oh.
Johnny, do you want to go ahead and get all of the Tori noises? Should we actually play them for Tori?
Why am I not surprised that Johnny walks in and things instantly take a turn for the weird?
Tori, I don't think that's a wiggle pad.
Okay, all right.
I think that's something else.
Okay, I'll put it down.
All right. So anyway,
Yes.
We just mentioned to you before the break, and for anybody who doesn't know, although I think we've beat this story like a dead horse, but Trent Reznor rented a house in Los Angeles. That was the house that the Sharon Tate murders, the Manson murders, took place. And then you were out there because Trent sang background vocals on Bells for Her on the new album.
Pass the Mission.
I'm sorry, Pass the Mission.
That's okay. He did Bells for Her, too. It's just you can't hear them.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
Okay. So anyway, we get this news this morning that they've torn down the house because of neighbors' complaints about sightseers and loonies. But Trent...
I don't know if that's the reason they tore it down. Do you know why I think they tore it down? Because that's ridiculous. I mean, there are sightseers and loonies at Tom Jones's house. Do you know what I mean? More. And I think it's because they can't sell it. Trent has nothing to do with that. He was renting the house, and he told me that before he rented it, he didn't know. Now, when he finally went to sign the deal, they had to tell him, because by law they had to tell him. But by then, he was up against a lot of time barriers, and he did like the house at that point. And he said, I'm not going to let that stand in my way. A lot of other people I lived there before him. It's not like you walk in and you wouldn't know unless somebody told you.
Mm-hmm.
But then once you know, it starts getting really, really creepy.
Well, nevertheless, you had a strange experience trying to cook for Trent Reznor.
I tried to cook this chicken because, you know, those guys look so anorexic that you just go, God, I got to feed you. And so I was making this chicken, and that's the one thing I make really, really good, is oven-fried chicken. I mean, it drips down your chin, you know, the kind where you just go, oh, yeah, it's dribbling down your chin, the yummy, yummy, yummy. Well, there is no yummy happening. It's gross. The flour's just sticking to the thing. And I call my mother. I'm like, Mom, what is wrong with this chicken? She goes, well, you know, the heir to the Folgers coffee perished at that house. And I think there's a curse and you can't cook anything in that house. I said, thanks, Mom. So that's that.
Let's take another call. We've got Laura on the phone. Laura, are you there?
Yeah, I'm here.
Hi, where are you calling from?
Baltimore.
You're on with Tori Amos, Laura.
Hi, Laura.
Hi. I was wondering, do you think your audience has changed between the last album and this album?
Yes.
Yeah, because the new album is a lot more rhythmic.
Yeah, it's changing a lot, actually. Just kind of growing, and different people, especially I've been at the English shows. I played a lot of colleges there, which I didn't do the first time in England like I did in the States. So it's, people are just being aware of it. I think God, too, has made a whole new audience. I have a lot of, there's this wolf cult that is showing up at the shows, and there's a little rat group that, you know...
Since the video?
Albeit very small, but there are people out there that, adore rodents, and they're showing up with little plastic cockroaches and showing them to me and stuff, and I'm going...
Thank you so much. Are we getting pressed for time here? Are we up? No?
Well,
okay?
no, we can take another shuttle, Arthur. This is Washington, Baltimore.
It's HFS.
Yeah.
All right, well, let's take another call then, shall we? Let's talk to Holly. Is that right, Holly?
Mm-hmm. Hi.
Where
Hi,
are you
Holly.
calling from, Holly?
Hi, Tori. First of all, I just want to say I'm so sad I missed your show last night. I pouted around for a while.
Well, we're coming back, so
I know,
that's
I'm
good.
definitely going to be there. Okay, I have kind of a two-part question. On Bells for Her and Cloud on My Tongue, you use two words which I've never heard. Nishiki, is that a piano?
That's a mountain bike.
A mountain bike?
I was really into mountain biking when I was writing this record.
Uh-huh.
I'd go out and, you know, when the mud gets really, really thick and it's like 4 inches on your tire and it goes...
Okay,
That's like the
I've
best.
never heard that before. And also, could you tell me, what is a Borneo?
I can't tell you that.
No.
But, however,
Uh-huh.
what you can do is, if you use your imagination for a minute, okay, Borneo is very hot and wet climate.
And you say, I don't need much to keep me warm?
Yeah, well, leave me with your Borneo. So,
Oh,
not a bad place to be when
right.
you're in the desert.
Okay.
All right, thanks for the call.
Thanks.
At HFS, Tori Amos is with us. And, you know, before we lose too much time here, do you think maybe we could do another song?
Okay, which one?
Boy, I'm
Well, I
lucky.
have
I
to...
get to pick them all this
I
morning?
choose every night, so you know.
Okay, you don't want to...
Oh, Johnny, this is Johnny's request. Sorry, Bob.
Pretty good year? Yeah? All right. Hey, wait a minute. Before you do it, though, Tori, John, pull up this microphone here. Now, you know, I tried to explain to Tori in New York several months ago what it's like to listen to Johnny Riggs on the weekends here at HFS.
Yes, Bob.
And it's basically like a whole bunch of sounds like
Tori, check this out.
all these little Tori sounds that
Oh, yeah.
Tori, has anybody ever told you about this? It's just
Hello.
it's all you, Tori. Johnny has a collection.
You know, everything is Tori. I think that's all we have to say about this.
Tori,
Everything is you, Tori.
Tori's actually blushing now. Oh, no.
She's not. That's a fake blush.
I'm playing now.
99.1 HFS.
Tears on the sleeve of a woman. Don't wanna be a boy today. bought himself a bike to race. Gray writes letters and burns the CDs. They say you were something in those formative years. Hold on to nothing as fast as you can. Still pretty good, yeah. Pretty good. Maybe a bright sandy beach is gonna bring you back, back, back. Maybe not so now, Europe. You're gonna see America. Well, let me tell you something about it. America. Pretty good, yeah. Pretty good. Some things are melting now. Some things are melting now. Well, hey, yeah, yeah. What's it gonna take till my baby's alright? What's it gonna take till my baby's alright? Gray writes letters with his birthday pen. Sometimes he's aware that they're drawing him in. Lucy was pretty, your best friend agreed. Still pretty good, yeah. Pretty good. Pretty good, yeah.
Yeah, Tori Amos and the
Thanks,
song
guys.
that opens up Under the Pink.
Yeah. It's a bit early to do some of these this morning. I'm sorry, but
Oh, you sound great.
I haven't had my oatmeal yet. You know how that goes.
99.1 HFS. You know, Tori, we can choose between, I think, what's probably an angry waitress who wants you to explain.
Oh, good. Let's do that.
Yeah,
Yes,
we'll
yeah,
do
yeah,
that?
yeah,
Okay,
yeah,
all right.
yeah.
This would be Jennifer. Jennifer, are you a waitress?
Yes, I am.
I
Hi,
guess.
Jennifer.
Hi, Tori.
How are you?
I'm very fine. I wanted to know that I've liked you since Why Can't Tori Read?
Oh, no, you have?
Yes.
Where'd you find that, Jennifer?
It's a hard shop, but it was Record Convergence. It's a kind of a weird little record store.
Right.
But I have two questions for you.
Yes.
I want to know if an actual incident inspired The Waitress, which is my favorite song on this CD.
Yes. It was a girl. It's not about that we're waitresses or not. I made us both waitresses because that was equal footing.
Mm-hmm.
So, and it was like a service-oriented scene, which I think was really interesting, us servicing each other and the whole bit. But yeah, it was about this girl that I wanted to rip her head off, and I almost had her neck in my hands going, okay, I could get 3 to 5 for this. Why do I have this girl's neck in my hands?
Well,
Why do I want to rip her head off?
I was wondering if it had anything to do with the, back when you were about 12 or 13 when you did the talent show, and you did the song for that boy, and he was dating that beautiful girl, and you hated her, and I wanted to know if it had something to do with that.
Oh, no. No, actually, unfortunately, Jennifer, this happened when I was 29. This happened
You sound
very
like me.
recently.
I
Yeah.
have one more question. on the inside of the CD, you have a picture of feathers and bones and glass bottles and a wing of a bird.
Yeah,
what is that symbolizing for you?
We call it the mandala, and that's just the cycle of life. That's Cindy Palmano's photography, again, one of the most exciting photographers known in England right now. And I love that, John.
Okay, thanks, Jennifer, for the call. And your artwork always looks great, Tori.
Yeah, she's amazing, isn't she? This woman.
Whose idea to spell out your name with the broken pieces of the light bulb?
Oh, that's Cindy.
Yeah, that was great.
Cindy's just in another realm.
Okay. We're going to take a quick break and come back and maybe even convince Tori to do one more if she's got time. And maybe another phone call or two. Don't give me that dirty look. 99.1 HFS.
You know when they gave me the new HP DeskJet 5?
WHFS. Bob Waugh and special guest Tori Amos with a room full. You know, it's so funny. Whenever you come, everybody comes into work early. Look at the hallways. They're filled. Johnny Riggs is here. The Wild West.
Johnny has all
Big
these
Marsh.
great toys, though. Aren't they great? These little squiggle things and these little combustible things. It's so interesting.
Tori, we got a guy on the phone here. Is another Johnny, and he's got a question for you. Hello, John.
Yeah, hi.
Hi.
Hi, Johnny.
Where are you calling
Oh, wow, that was cool. Yeah, Tori, I go to Richard Montgomery High School.
Oh, in Rockville.
Yeah. And, that's where you used to go.
I certainly did.
Yeah, and, I, found out from the old yearbooks that you were homecoming queen, and I was wondering if there was a story behind that.
Well, I really wanted to be homecoming king, but they convinced me I had an innie, not an outie. Anyway, well, the thing is, I don't know what Richard Montgomery's like now. What's it like now, Johnny? Is it like a balance of all different cultures and stuff?
Actually, yeah, they brought in this program for gifted and funny-looking people, and, now they're spending all sorts of money on it, and it's really pretty cool.
Well, we love gifted and funny-looking people. I knew quite a few when I was at Richard Montgomery, and it's not just the in-group that votes for that. As you know, at Richard Montgomery, it was everybody in the senior class. So I think all the nerds, I'm kind of like, I'm a dyed-haired nerd. And so all the nerds voted for me. So nerds forever. Rock on.
Nerds forever, indeed. Here's Melissa, who is... Melissa?
Hey.
Hi there. How are you?
I'd just like to say you were great last night, and I was wondering when Honey and Daisy Dead Petals is going to come out.
Wow. Wow, Melissa, you're up on things, aren't you?
That's B-side? That's...
B-side's in England right now.
They come to the United States?
They're coming to the States on Cornflake, which is the next single. I'm putting out a CD 4, which is Daisy, Honey, and Sister Janet on it.
Okay, we're going to do one more call, and this is Josh, who wants to know how to get in touch with the Tori fan club, and there are so many of them. Which one, Josh?
Well, on the in-flap of your Under the Pink album, Tori?
Yes?
There's a number for your fan club and a fax number.
Yeah.
Is that where we send your fan mail?
Yeah, that's a good place. Or the fanzines. Everybody that runs those things just do it because they love people.
Yeah.
And the reason that they wanted to get into it is specifically those people, the guys in England, the couple in Ohio, and the guy that runs the fan club in Florida, would just come to different gigs and talk to people and help with the mail and stuff. And so they decided to help run these things so people felt like they were getting...
Do you actually get a lot of those letters?
I get some of them. I mean, sometimes it's difficult because, number one, it's hard to track me down.
Yeah.
And number two, there are quite a few letters, but we try and do the best we can. I mean, everybody, I think, they try to respond to, and more than anything, try and update them on information. So.
And occasionally, maybe more than occasionally, you'll actually respond yourself as you were telling that story about the guy who sent you the letter with a stick figure on it.
Yeah, I mean, there are things that slip through, Sometimes, unfortunately, but this is just the truth, some of the tragic stuff slips through because we do get a lot of tragic letters. Like last few weeks, we got something from a girl who's 14 who's just been diagnosed with AIDS. And it was a really, God, it was such a moving letter. She has such acceptance, believe it or not. She got it from a blood transfusion. And just what she's going through.
Imagine you had your share of correspondence from victims of rape as well.
Yes, we've had many of those. And to be honest with you, sometimes those are the ones that I respond to personally first, because a lot of times these people are on the edge of just incredible depression and not being able to cope. So those are the ones that sometimes they don't feel capable of responding to because they haven't really been through that. So those letters, they pass to me, and I respond to those. And a lot of times refer them to people or books, or I know that they can talk to that might help them like they helped me.
Okay, the Wild West has been standing there patiently. I know you have a question for Tori. Wes, what is it?
Tori, I just wanted to ask one thing. I've seen you in a couple different places, and after Listener last night, one of the biggest places I've seen you play at, the way people react in the small clubs and the way they react in the large arenas is a little different. The more popular you've gotten, the more you get the sort of like rock and roll reaction occasionally. And I've noticed that you're one who really enjoys your concentration when you work and getting into the feel of it. And I wonder how you react, or how you keep your concentration when, say, before Me and a Gun, someone yells out, "Welcome home, Tori."
Well, you know, the thing is, I've grown a lot in the last couple years, maybe because I've done so many shows, that I'm much more open to spontaneity than I ever was. It doesn't scare me. It doesn't throw me. I can just be in a moment, and then I'm in the next moment. So I can respond to that and then put my focus back. It doesn't, I love it when people are spontaneous. I don't want anybody to come to my show that doesn't feel like they can't be spontaneous. I mean, one of the most fun things that's happened in the last couple of weeks is this guy screamed, "I want to marry you," and this girl screams, "No, marry me, forget about him." And it's really important that people come and feel like they can be free at my shows. Now, if they're obviously disturbing somebody else, then that's different.
I know when you toured for Little Earthquakes, there was a couple of incidents. I think one was in Cincinnati, where what'd you do? You threw a bunch of people out, Tori, didn't you?
Yeah, I did. Yeah, well, you know, when it gets to the point where people are throwing bottles and they didn't really want to be there and they're ruining for everybody else, I'm not having it. Just because the audience, too, is looking at me to draw the line, because they're just sitting there wanting to kill, and that's not right. If you either take control of your stage or you don't. And some people, the truth is, they really wanted to be at Henry Rollins' gig, and they got the nights mixed up, and that's okay. I understand. I know I think I'm Metallica, but nobody else does. So, you know, if they want their money back and they need to go, then I respect that. We'll just let them go.
Have you heard the new Rollins single, by the way?
No, I haven't.
Oh, it's so great.
Is it great?
Yeah, it's called Liar. Maybe we'll play that for you.
Okay.
But anyway, I'm going to let you go. I know you have a flight to catch, and say hi to Dave for us tonight.
If I get to see Dave, you know.
Yeah? Are you going to get some couch time with Letterman?
I don't know. I think they just relegate me to the piano and talk to much more interesting people.
Yeah. Are you going to have to play with Paul Schaefer tonight?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah?
That's pretty cool, because Paul's quite a musician, and if you need to make changes, he is open to that.
Yeah.
So you can work with him, yeah.
Okay. I thought people have told me in the past that they have like a house rule.
Well, they do have a house rule.
That Paul has to perform.
Well, they do have a house rule.
Whereas, I mean, you would be completely capable of just doing it yourself, right?
Yeah, well...
What are you going to do tonight, do you know?
Cornflake Girl.
Oh, okay. Good. Oh, what a segue, Tori. But you know what? We have to talk to Jerry Edwards first before we get to that. And, Tori, hang on just a couple of more minutes, okay? WHFS, Bob Waugh, Rob Tim, The Wild West, Johnny Riggs. Special guest, Tori Amos. Playing with the vibrating pen, a personal gift from Riggs. Oh, by the way, Jerry was brought to you by Chevy Chase Bank. They're everything you want, everywhere you are, and by your Washington area McDonald's. Come in and try the new all-you-can-eat weekend breakfast buffet. Participation and prices may vary. Thank you. That takes care of the business. And Tori, before we let you head out of here, Tell me the story about Cornflake Girl. Now, you did a commercial once, didn't you?
Yes.
Way back when for a cereal?
Yeah, for Kellogg's Cornflakes.
Yeah.
Even though I'd like to think of myself as a raisin girl, I definitely was a traitor then. They paid me good money, and I got to get my own apartment.
Yeah.
Move out from this guy that was being kind of a drag. It was really good. It kept me going for a while, but I had to cut off all my hair. It was horrible.
How long ago was this? So you look like Evan Dando then. You know, he cut all his hair off.
I've heard Evan cut his hair off. No, I think Evan looked much better than I did because my ears are so massive. You know, I don't need a landing strip. I can just take off.
Well, you know, I thought I knew pretty much everything about you, but now...
No, they're huge. My ears are really... Why do you think I have hair covering them?
So Cornflake Girl, the brand new video you just shot this week. And
yeah.
Seeing that soon.
Yeah, it's like the Magnificent Seven goes, chicks. We'll see.
Excellent.
And you burn a guy in it.
No, we don't burn it. We cook a guy.
You cook a guy.
And he's really into getting cooked. He's cutting his own carrots for his own stew. I mean, he's totally into it.
Well, who wouldn't be?
Yeah, I mean, there are 5 chicks chanting around this wonderful little stew pot, and he's, he was a cowboy. He had nothing to do that day. It was either that or Amarillo.
Oh, this is my favorite song on the album, so we're going to close with this one, and thanks for coming by again.
Thank you, guys, and I just want to thank everybody out there for, trying to hang out, and I'm going to be here this summer, so I don't want you to feel like we were doing a cheapie scene. We'll be back.
Yeah, in June. Keep it on HFS, and you'll find out all about it. Tori, we love you.
She's gonna cry, Bob. You
Bye,
made her
Tori.
cry.
Bye, Tori.
Bye, everybody.
99.1 HFS, and we're out of here too. We'll see you tomorrow.
Bye.
Damien's next.